Hello everybody, and today we are here with another board game review. Today we'll be reviewing Dice Forge.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today we'll be telling you that why you should play Dice Forge. Dice Forge is set in the thematic world of Greek mythology, where you have where you are what like of a demigod. Yeah,
I think Demi-god or some sort of power.
we are different kind of demigods who have been called in the fight for champions. I forgot all about the theme because in the end it's not going to be a thematic game anyway. The graphics and the artwork is beautiful. It's about the
Bravo! This has to be my favorite game that includes artworks.
yeah. So from artwork side, as you can look at the setup even on the table, the table presence is going to be beautiful about these Greek floating islands where you are going to go and do heroic feats.
Sky Island.
Well, heroic feats, the game calls it heroic feats, but it's just okay, pay some resource to take a card. That's all the heroic feat is. Now, how the game is going to work is that on your turn or active player's turn, everyone is going to get something. So, everyone is going to have their own custom dice which they are going to roll. Initially, these dice are same for all the players. So all the players are going to roll their dice, and whatever comes on their dice, that is called the divine blessing of the gods, the Greek gods, and accordingly you will be on your player board. So these are punched boards in which actually you will be moving your cube to represent what resources you have gained. These resources can be something like gold, fire crystals, moon shards, and victory points. The fire and the moon shard are going to be your main currency which you're going to use to do the heroic feats, whereas the gold is the currency which is you are going to use to improve or upgrade your dice. So these are the two main elements of the game as well, that you are upgrading your dice and then using your better dice to get better resources to go to these different islands to perform these heroic feats and get the cards which are going to give you some permanent victory points other than the victory points which you might get from the cards. Now, on the current player's turn, even though everyone will be rolling, everyone will be getting those blessings, but after that, the active player is going to do some additional things as well, which are going to be that either he goes to the pantheon of gods where he has a plethora of die faces.
Let me try to make some royal music. I'm not the best at making.
Yeah, so you can go here to get some more blessed dice or blessed die faces to improve, or you can go for heroic feat. So first let's go here. So on your basic dice, you are mostly going to get one gold, or there is one die face on one of these white dice which is for the fire shard, and one of these, or sun shard I think it's called.
It's a sun shard.
Yeah, and on the other darker dice there is a moon shard, but all other faces are one gold and one face is 2 victory points. But we need those shards to actually do the heroic feats. So ideally, initially what you will try to do is get some gold, and then using that gold you're going to go to this pantheon of gods where you're going to actually get some better die faces. So for example, if I had, let's say, 5 gold, then I will be able to upgrade to this section or to any of these lesser ones. And this is also a punch board from where you can pick up any die face that you want to upgrade. So for example, if I have 5 gold and my intention is that I want to buy this sun shard and then a moon shard, so I can use that much gold. I will reduce that gold on my player board and get these die faces. And how these die faces are done is that this is a customizable dice, and that's the gimmick of this game. You're going to use one of these die faces to actually pry and open a side which you don't want, and then upgrade with the new upgrade that you have purchased. And now you can mix and match any kind of combination. So similarly, again here, if I want to remove this gold and then put a moon shard on it, So now my probability of getting moon shards and sun shards have just rapidly increased, and in that way I can keep on upgrading. There are a variety of die faces that are available. Quantity of sun shards, moon shards are going to increase. Sometimes they are going to give me options that either take this or that. Sometimes they are going to give me straight 4 victory points. And then there are some specialized die faces as well, which are going to give me special abilities. This is not a rules video, so I will not be going into those details, but they can be things which are going to impact other players. They are going to be faces which can replicate. So for example, this mirror one is going to replicate the die face of someone else, and that can be helpful when someone else has upgraded to a
Or
better die
perhaps
face.
some victory points gold at times 3.
Yeah, so whatever you get on one dice, this can multiply it by 3. So if you concentrate on upgrading your one dice to a very better value, and then your second dice has these multiplying factors, it can give you more options. Now, that's the marketplace and how you're going to upgrade your dice. Next comes the heroic feat action. In the heroic feat, how you're going to go there is that based on what resources you have collected on your player board, if you have enough sun shards or moon shards, you can go to one of these islands and pay that many shards to perform that heroic feat. It's just a buying action. So for example, if I'm this orange player
It's like everything
and
to a
I
nine, to
had,
be honest.
let's say, 3 moon shards, I can go here and this 3 moon shard is going to give me this card. Now each of these cards are language independent. The symbols are very simple to understand, but even if you don't understand, the game does come with a one-page easy reference in which the powers of each of these cards is explained in details. Now, the reason why I wanted to show you this card specifically is that there can be some cards which have gear icons on them. Now, gear icons, once you have acquired this, you're going to flip it and it's going to be much more simple to understand on the back side. So it says die multiply by 1 and a reroll symbol is there. So that's what it is going to give me. That on each of my turn, a gear means this becomes active each time I am the active player, I will get this additional ability. So using a gear, I'm going to get one additional dice reroll. So whichever dice I have upgraded more, I will choose which dice I want to reroll and I will reroll, and this will give me another minor blessing. So other than your major blessing or divine blessing, you're going to get a minor blessing of additional resource on each of my turn. So if I want this ability, maybe I will go here. But if I wanted a different kind of ability, so for example, I can go here, pay the sun shard value, and this is also a gear icon which shows a symbol 3 gold for 4 victory points. So each of my turn, instead of trying to upgrade my dice, I can on each of my turn use the gold to convert it into victory points as well. And these stack up. So these gear icons will overlap each other to make one gear which is representing this gear will activate, this gear will activate further gears. So the artwork is going to show you all of these powers are going to get activated and you will get those powers. Some cards may give you just one time advantage, which are represented by this lightning or tornado kind of symbol, which are instantaneous awards, and they are going to actually give me. So for example, this one is going to let me pick one of these tiles because these special ability tiles don't have a cost
So
written
choose
here.
carefully when you want to use them.
It lets me pick one of these special tiles, which is going to give me again some very cool prizes whenever this die face is rolled out. Then there are going to be some which are just fights or direct heroic feats. So as long as I pay those many moon shards, I get to kill that creature, which is going to give me just straight up victory points, which are the most simple kind of cards that are going to be there. Then there are some cards with the time hourglass symbol.
Hourglass,
Now these
time, whatever you
hourglass,
call it.
yeah, these hourglass are going to be your passive abilities which can get activated anytime. So for example, this card is a bear which is showing this reset symbol, and it gives me 3 points. What that is so for example, if I was last time on this island, I'll remain on this island until I choose to move away, or some other player comes and ousts me from my location on this island. So as soon as this oust symbol is activated, that I have been released from this, I will get 3 victory points. So it can get activated on any player's turn. Now, one of the last cards that I want to show you is these last two categories of cards, which are going to give me some additional upgrades. So for example, the treasure chest upgrade is going to upgrade my player board with an extension. So by default, I am limited to the number of sections that are available here, but using a treasure chest, my player board is going to get extended, and now I can store more treasure before I have to consume them. What?
I have everything of mine default.
Then there is this hammer symbol, which is going to let me move up this track, so it will get flipped over and I can move up this track, and each time I can actually move up this track with this gold icon, and at the end it's going to give me some victory points, which is 10. But if I complete this track again, it's going to give me victory points 15. So I can activate this card will go in my player board section here, and then accordingly I can keep upgrading it. So these kind of cards have various kind of abilities on them, which, and in the end what you're trying to do, irrespective of the theme, is trying to make an engine which is going to be most beneficial. What are the die faces which I try to aim? Do I try to aim for one dice, which is very cool, or I try to balance both of my dice, but then the probability of getting good resources on each of your die roll is less. But if you upgrade only one dice, at least one resource you are going to get every time, which is going to be very good. And how do I combine them with the powers that are available on this board? And that's how you play the game. There is a large replayability factor in this game as well, because not only many of these sections have dual cards available as well. So for example, it's your choice, you want to place which of the card abilities on this section. So for example, there is a mystic bear or a mystic deer, both having slightly different abilities. Some cards, some places are going to have static cards, but then there will be others where you will have again different cards. So you can make combination of which abilities do you want to play this time and which abilities you don't want to play this time. But the main gimmick of this game is going to be this dice upgrade function. That's why the name of the game, Dice Forge, comes in. That you're forging your own dice, which is going to dictate that what blessings you're going to get. That's the gist of the game. So they have tried to put theme in it, but in the end, what you're doing
There's
is
still some things that are missing, and it doesn't quite explain itself a whole lot.
yeah. What we are trying to do is just very basic engine. Now, yes, this is going to be a very basic game, our introductory game, just easy for people to play, but it's not going to have very strategic depth. Even though there are choices which matter, what cards do you go for in the start, what die faces do you go in the start, how do you upgrade, the fanciness of upgrading your dice, the beautiful artwork, the beautiful components. So yes, these things are going to be attractive for anyone. But in the end, the game lacks depth, that lacks excitement, because you're just getting resources. I would have.
You're just getting resources and buying things. It's
Yeah.
like supermarket the game.
I would have preferred if we were actually doing some fights and there were chances, okay, we are going to fail or we are going to succeed. But it's very simple. Pay sun shards and you kill something. That's it. So there is no excitement in it. You gather up more power, pay 5 moon shards.
All the time.
So the heroic feats don't feel heroic. That's what the problem in this game is. The die face upgrading is of course going to be the most fun thing about this game. Ooh, I have such a cool dice, When I throw, I know I'm going to get, and everyone is going to be, oh, he's getting so many good resources every time. He's able to do so many cool actions. But in the end, the type of resources are just very limited: gold, sun shard, moon shard. So you are not
And
going to
victory
have
points.
a huge variation from other players as well. Now, the game itself, if you like light games, then this game is going to be ideal for you. The components are going to attract anyone. If you look at this, the whole tray is actually going to be packed as such. The setup time is going to be reduced by how they have made these components. The dice, everything, the pegs, the cubes, the cards, everything have a place in the insert. So from an insert perspective, this was very ideal. We can then store it
Ignore
without
that. We totally nailed it.
a light game for families, an introductory game, and if you like this kind of physicality of making your own dice faces, then of course I haven't seen this kind of customization. I've seen some games which use stickers that you can put, but that's only one time use. These are permanent things that you can actually keep upgrading, remove a dice face, put a new dice face in. So that's our review for Dice Forge. Hope that gives you an idea whether this game you should play or not. That's it from our side, and happy gaming!
Happy gaming!